figured out the best way to do it.
Well, a lot of it was
To
just
get
bumbling around looking.
known artifacts to say like, oh, okay, this all makes sense now.
I have to see it. I'm a slow learner. I got to show it to me. I've been over MK's area. I've been over Peter Burns' area. I've been up and down the whole place looking for rocks, logs, trees, any artifact, and I couldn't find anything. And we saved this area here, which we were calling Barakna. We saved this area here towards the end because I felt more comfortable with it. And I wanted to disprove everything possible so I can focus on here. And I was tickled. Steven was like, yeah, this has got to be. I go, no, I have to look at the map. I got to stare at it. I got to be sure.
And Ian wouldn't let us settle anywhere because Ian kept wanting us to keep going downstream.
He wanted to go down. He was drawn down there.
Upstream maybe to Scorpion Creek.
Yeah, but this I feel comfortable here.
So if we go around the corner here, we should see the canyon wall and the bowling alley.
It's right there. The bowling alley is right there. You can see the long strip on the edge.
But you'll be surprised there is enough room at the end after this
to walk around
it. Part of the film.
Yeah.
Where the camera rolls.
I gave you as much as I can, and I gave you, as we discussed, I gave you the street address, but you wanted the number with the address, and I was unable to do that.
Well,
yeah,
this is the exact spot marked. I mean, in your book, it points to the end over there, and in that map that you sent me by email, when I asked you to clarify where Dehinton marked, the arrow points right down there to the crook near the first sighting spot. So you add it on both sides here in your book.
Yeah, but see, knowing something on a map doesn't mean you necessarily know it in the field.
Well, you can barely see it, but if you look, I mean, there's the vine maple that provided your red color right there.
There's several, and these don't grow; they die quickly.
That's not the same tree, but that maple it was much smaller. And as Rowdy noted when we were sitting here, it's got a kind of bent trunk, and it has that same bent trunk in the film. And that's where your yellow came from, and your middle tree is covered by vine maples, and you often see the reddish color on there. And then we saw that spiky snag sticking up, like inconceivably, it's still there.
Yeah.
It was dead.
Well,
in
when you
67.
start to look back though, it's just like when you say inconceivably. What forces of nature
right through there
would cause it to move or change or not be there?
Well, that's dead.
It's still there. It's protected from wind by its neighbors, so the elements weren't as harsh.
Now I say we make this a real challenge. Now that we've located the film site, let's locate Patty.
Well, I don't have a backhoe, but I'm pretty sure.
We'll need someone from Washington to come in and get her on the phone for us.
Well, we know where the stumps are.
Yes.
And Patty was in front of these stumps, walking around through here.
Yeah. So how far from this tree? It's indicated on Renee's map how far the subject was from here.
Yeah. Well,
and
this tree is not in the map that was drawn. They used stumps. They used snags that were alder snags that are dead and gone. This stump is
when you say this tree was not in the map that was drawn.
This alder map.
Whose map?
Renee's. You didn't survey?
Let me ask you this: was it here then?
No, this alder. We put a bunch of bore increments. The oldest alder here was like 27 years old, maybe 30.
Well, so this was not here.
No, this wasn't here.
Okay, so how could
no
he have
alders
mapped
were here?
No, the big
here.
tree.
This wasn't here.
How far
that
from the
wasn't
big tree
there.
was the film subject?
Sorry?
Not this alder, the big tree.
Well, he didn't take measurements off the big tree, did he?
That's
he took
what they're
measurements
saying.
off of stumps. He took measurements off snags that are gone now. That were in the deer shop for 352. So those didn't help us much today. But there's some stumps marked on it, and the deal is which ones are those stumps that he took measurements, Renee took measurements from when he surveyed it. That would be a good question. This one might actually be one. We don't know for sure. I'd have to look at it again, check the angles on it.